What's up, everybody? Target here, playing the long dark. This is an interloper run where I'm going to give you tips, tricks, hints, and also talk about the most advantageous start position on interloper. I see a wolf over there. This, in my opinion, is the best start. Timberwolf Mountain, this point right here, where you're looking at these snowy hills, not the one where you see like rocks. There's two Timberwolf Mountain starts. I'm gonna grab these mushrooms if I can before that wolf sees me. There's mushrooms on the right. There's some rose hips over here. You want to grab those. Sometimes that wolf is behind that hill on the left there. You see where he's going now? So you don't want to run that way and run right into him. This video is going to be tips, hints, tricks, how to survive your first interloper experience. And I'm also going to talk about why I think this is the most advantageous starting position for your first interloper experience. The key here, in my opinion, is that if you don't start out on Timberwolf Mountain, an interloper, then you're not going to come here for a long time. Sometimes there's a body right here. You want to come over here, search that, grab these rose hips over here. You're not going to come here for a long time, so whatever resources that you can get here, you won't be able to get them until much later. So why not grab them right at the start to give yourself a head start in the game. After you grab those rose hips, a couple of mushrooms, head down this rope. There's a wolf, possibility of a wolf spawn right here, like right on the other side of that hill. There's some rose hips on that hill right there, that little bump there, but I don't recommend going for them. You hear that wolf there. There he is right there. Stick to the right here. And you're right at the mountaineering cabin. There's going to be a wolf or two on the right on the pond here. Deer and rabbits on the left. I'm going to grab one of these. I'm not going to get the rest because I know there's some over there on the left on a fallen tree. I'm going to come over here and get these cattails. In the beginning of the game, cattails are going to be your main food source. There's quite a bit of them in a number of different places. You see, if you go from a crouch to standing up, you see how he stops and he's smelling? Yeah. Never panic if you get a wolf after you like that. Just gonna go right into this fishing hut. Bye, wolf. There's always gonna be a hat or gloves here. Although I hate bringing him to this side of the pond because that means he's probably gonna kill a deer. And I'll be stuck with him on my side of the pond. There's 3 different starts you can get when you start here on Timberwolf Mountain. One of them, you're going to find the hammer right there. I'll talk about the other ones in a bit. First I want to get over here. See this fallen tree here? You want to get over here and loot these rose hips and the cattails before the bear shows up. There's a bear that comes right up this valley here. And that other wolf is over there somewhere. Here's the other old man's beard. Part of the reason you want to start out on Timberwolf Mountain here, you immediately come down here and you can get this food. A lot of food here. You got the rose hips. You can make yourself some painkillers. One thing you want to be aware of when you're collecting a lot of cattails is that every time you pick up a cattail, you not only do you get food, but you also get tinder. And if you don't keep an eye on that, you can get so much tinder that it starts slowing you down. Look here. I got 15 of these already. I'm just going to drop them all. I'm going to be getting more. You see I'm freezing. If you don't hear my guy complain, it's because I have the voice turned off. I'm going to keep an eye on your hypothermia risk. Here, 30%. You don't want to let it get too high because unless you're going inside of a closed building, you have to give yourself enough time to make a fire. Get the fire going, get it warm enough. I'm not too worried about getting every single cattail on the pond here, but I'm going to try and get as many as I can. Once you get the bow and you start killing deer, you really won't need to worry about cattails anymore. Okay, I'm going to head in, see what kind of loot we got in over here. Okay, so I was talking about the different starts. You can get the hammer in that fishing hut. Let me put this on. Well, that's the windproof one. That's good. You can get the hammer in the fishing hut, or you will find the hammer in here, or you will find a magnifying glass under this bed, or you will find the hacksaw. Those are the 3 starts that you'll have the possibility of getting here. There'll always be a sewing kit, always be matches, always be firewood. The other thing that you want to be aware of right away when you're starting an interloper is that you don't have any water, so you're going to need to make water as soon as possible, or fairly soon. Alright, so I'm going to add the fur. I'm going to make 3.5 liters. Let's see, we'll add some sticks. Get a drink. I'm gonna make these painkillers right away. Don't want to get stuck. Don't want to get stuck with a sprained ankle or something with a wolf chasing you. I'm not too worried about making the mushrooms right away. I don't plan on getting food poisoning or intestinal parasites. Look over here behind this crate too, because if you look right between there, there's always a good chance of finding something. So that's empty. We got everything there, there. Alright, let's see. It's less than 1 hour of daylight. We're not too tired. You don't want to be rushing around like a chicken with its head cut off. You got to think about things. So I'm going to get 1 hour sleep here while I have the fire going. It's nice and warm in here. This place is a death trap. You don't want to try to make your home here because it's not warm enough inside here, and you can't gather firewood because you don't have any good clothes. So now, since you have the hacksaw, normally if you don't have the hacksaw, you're gonna gather cattails and head to Pleasant Valley at this point. But since I have the hacksaw, I'm gonna show you another benefit of this starting over here on Timberwolf Mountain. There's a wolf right there. Come out here by the fallen tree. That bear never showed up. Surprised because he usually always does. Where this fallen tree is, you want to go right up that hill. It's really warm now, -9. Now, your playthrough wouldn't be exactly like this, obviously. You know, maybe you have a blizzard. Maybe you have 35 below weather or something. So you're going to have to adjust accordingly. See if we can get up here. There's a chance for wolves over here on the right, so stick to the left of these rocks here. The bear can also be down in here. His cave is right over there. The other Timberwolf Mountain start is down that valley there and up the mountainside. So from here, go to the right over here. And avoiding that over there where the wolves might be. You can see that red piece of tail from the plane. And the big wing here. There's the wolf right there on a dead deer. Move by this wing, and there's a cargo container over here. And it's going to have food, coffee, and herbal tea. Sometimes there's a corpse here, human corpse. All these cargo containers have two halves. Make sure you check both halves of the cargo container. Keeping a safe distance from that wolf. If a wolf is on a dead deer or rabbit that they've killed, never get near them. I hear the bear. There's the bear. Never get near a wolf that's on a kill because they won't stalk you, give you a chance to back away or anything like that. They'll just immediately attack you. Now, if that wolf was after us, we could run near that bear and it would scare the wolf away. The bear has a smaller aggro range than the wolf. You can get closer to the bear than you can the wolf. 9 hours of darkness left. It's -7. Pretty warm night. Got lucky. Pretty tired, and I know I have to go down a rope, so I may rest a little bit. I'm going to see what the temperature is inside the mountaineer's cabin before I decide on that. Most of the time you can go down a rope even if you're totally exhausted and not have any issues. I've done it probably 20 or 30 times or something, but I did actually fall off the rope going down because I was exhausted, so there is a chance of it. I'm not sure if it's worth starting another fire in here if I have to. Let's see. It feels like 2, then the bed bonus is going to be 5. I think I am going to get a little bit of sleep. Let's see, let's get some water. Calorie-wise, it should be good. Let's see, try 4 hours. It takes approximately 4 hours for hypothermia to set in. So if you don't have a chance of hypothermia, and it's warm, yeah, I'm pretty warm now. And rested. Keep that in mind. So, if you had the hammer or the magnifying glass, you didn't want to try to re-roll to get the hacksaw, you would have left earlier instead of going to that cargo container. You would have to come back for that. And this is what you would do after you've looted the cabin. So now we're gonna get out of here. Get these cattails on our way. Check in here. Where is that wolf? I'm running right into a wolf? Oh. I couldn't see him because of the rock there. Black on black. We're gonna have to delay for a minute. Just gonna run back in here. Still warm? Not really. You see, this is why this is not a good place to live. It's cold unless you have a fire going. So whenever you have the possibility of wolves outside of a building, crouch down before you exit. Let's see where this guy is. He's down there. Never panic. Well, try not to panic. If you ever get a wolf on you like that, there's plenty of ways of dealing with it. Keep an eye on them. I'm not going to forget to drop all this tinder that I'm picking up. %, risk. See, this 26, I got 1.3 kilograms of tinder that you get from the cattails. That's why I'll never pick up the newspapers or rolled newspapers or tinder plugs, because you get plenty doing this. Before playing Interloper, I'll get to that in a second. So what you want to do then once you get these cattails is head to Pleasant Valley. I was going to say, before playing Interloper, the most important things I would say: learn the maps, learn where the caves are, because caves are going to be important for keeping warm and fighting off cabin fever. And learn where the wolf and bear spawns are, so you can avoid them. I don't think there's anything else up here that I need. Oh yeah, I want to get these rose hips. I'm not too tired. I'm going to have an issue going down the rope now. On Interloper, you have to get used to being freezing, get used to being starving, at least in the beginning of the game. Don't worry about your condition too much. I would say try not to let it get below 25%. Of course, you want to keep it as high as possible, because if you ever have a wolf attack or something, that could kill you if you're at low condition. For the purposes of video, I'm sprinting a lot, and normally wouldn't do that as much because it tires you out, wastes calories. the transition right up here. A lot of people might think, oh, you can get the hammer at the start. Why don't you have that? You know, why don't you like that start? But the problem with that is that if you get the hammer right away, then you can't get that cargo container. And not only that, but a hacksaw will let you cut the meat, harvest the meat off of frozen deer. And the hammer won't do that. And you can find the hammer in a bunch of different places. I think, you know, there's a total of about 4 places. It's guaranteed, one in each zone except for Desolation Point. So we're going to find a hammer. I'm not worried about that. The next order of business after getting out of here is I'm going to look for a bedroll so we don't get stuck anywhere, so we can use caves to avoid cabin fever. I'm not too drained, so I'm going to stop here, get this firewood. Here's the abandoned prepper's cache right here to the right of the rope. So we can warm up, regain some condition. So let's see, this bar here, drained, the tiredness indicator, that's 12 hours long. The most you can sleep is 10 hours without taking damage from dehydration and starving. So 750 calories to sleep 10 hours on Interloper. So let's eat that. I know I'm going to get a can opener at the farmhouse. I'm not going to waste those by smashing them open. And this is what you're going to be doing on Interloper. You eat just enough calories for the amount of sleep you need. And like I said, I won't waste time with these because I'm picking up enough cattails to give tinder. Place is usually empty and it doesn't disappoint. Sometimes you can find a herbal package of box of herbal tea in here with some other things, but it looks like there's nothing today. So now we're going to go over and look for a bedroll in one of the places where it can spawn. It's very close by. What was it out? 15 below. Not bad. Gotta grab the firewood over here. I always look in here, never find anything. Seems like there should be something in there, you know? Maybe there is on lower difficulties, I don't know. I don't play lower difficulties. So from here, with the rope behind you, looking downhill, there's a possibility of a wolf spawn in here, so you'll want to take this hill on the left here. And stick close to the wall here. Yeah, there's a wolf down there. Stick to the left, and right down here there's a campground and a cave. On about 50% of your runs you're going to find bedroll in that cave. If you have the Timberwolf Mountain start. I'm not freezing, so I'm going to check out this dead guy over here. A lot of mushrooms here. I'm not going to bother picking them up for the sake of the video. Alright, I might have to start a fire here so you guys can see it. This cave's pretty easy to navigate in the dark, but let's see. From that corpse in this room right here on the right, you might be able to see it. See this container there? Metal container here. Next to it there might be some lantern fuel. There's a plastic container here. Okay, so next to this metal container, I know you can't see it, but next to this metal container, there's sometimes a lantern, and there's also sometimes a bedroll here. You know what? I'll light a match. Okay, sometimes a bedroll here and a lantern. Bedroll's not here this time. The other half of the time, you're gonna find it over behind the dam in the connector area. There's always going to be some firewood here. Sometimes there's a dead guy right here. Coal is great for not only foraging, but if you're harvesting deer outside and it's cold outside. Coal brings the temperature up more than anything else. More than any other kind of, you know, cedar or sticks or fir or anything. One way you can navigate caves in the dark, you see there's the exit up there. If you can't see ahead of you like that, turn around backwards and back away from the parts you can see. So from here, I'm not freezing, and I'm pretty rested. So what I like to do is, and this is one of the reasons why I like starting on Timberwolf Mountain, is to go to every area only once instead of having to backtrack a lot or retrace your steps, to try to be as efficient as possible. So from here, I'm gonna head to point of disagreement, which is where there's a couple of cars, some corpses, and then from there we'll head a couple more spots, and then Skeeter's Ridge, and then we'll head to the farmhouse. What you want to keep in mind, if you end up here and it's lousy weather and you're freezing, you're going to want to stay in here until you're warm enough. From here, you have to think, okay, the next place that I can get warm indoors is the basement at Skeeter's Ridge. So can I make it there with how cold I am and how rested I am? Always think about these things. It's a lot more challenging on Interloper, especially later when the weather turns really, really bad. So from this cave, what I usually do is go up this hill here. To get the point of disagreement. You want to make sure you head up toward that rock right there and not over to the left here slightly. You'll end up on the side of the hill, and then you'll have to drop down to the river. The reason why I'm going this way instead of the easier path to the right over there is because that's where the wolves are. That's what I was talking about knowing where wolves spawn. There's most likely some wolves right down here. I'm going to crouch down just in case. Below now. Sometimes the wolf is pretty close to the top of this hill here, which is why I crouched down. I see one way down there. Looks like we're okay. So then you head to the left a little here. Get on this snow road. Matches. I suggest you don't waste your time doing this. There's never anything in there. The wolf is right over that hill. So from here, I'm going to follow this snow road, being careful not to go too close to that hill there. That's where the wolf spawns. Over to the hunter's blind. I just circled around. Right over there is the rope down and the abandoned purpose cache. Sometimes there's saplings right here. Yep. So I'm going to grab those since we have another advantage of having the hacksaw already. Can't do this with the hammer. Let's check out hypothermia really quick. 15%, that's fine. Plenty of time. So from the hunter's blind, I'm just gonna grab some water here. From the hunter's blind, there's this rock wall behind it. Head straight away from that, along these rocks. Keep these rocks on your right. There's a possibility of a wolf spawn. See where that deer is headed? Right in that gap over there. Could be a wolf. Could be a wolf behind, he could be behind these rocks over here. I'm gonna stay to the right here by these rocks. This is Skeeter's Ridge here, where that burned out house is. Possibility of a wolf to the left here, and also to the right. By the basement that we need to go to, so keep your eyes peeled here. Corpse over here. Ooh, a new hat. Not gonna put it on right now because I'm already freezing. The hat's not gonna make a difference. I'm gonna grab these saplings since there's no wolf over here. See, we're not too tired, so I don't think we're gonna have any trouble getting down. There's 2 ropes after this you have to get down. I want to be careful here. Sometimes there's 1 or 2 wolves. They like to stay right around these houses. It can be a real pain sometimes. I don't see them right now, though. So we're going to head into this basement. Warm up a little bit. Feels like 6. I'm going to take this book, even though you can't get the rifle, because it's great for starting fires. Sometimes there's a metal container under here. Now it's on the shelf there. Clothing wise, we got a good hat. Those socks aren't as good as the ones we have. So we need to warm up a little bit. Not much. Still have 2 hours of daylight. Gotta harvest this hat. Let's see where we're at. Really doing well. We're lucky that we really haven't had really nasty weather. Plenty of times I've started and there's a blizzard within an hour after starting, or it's 35 below. Now whenever you leave here, or any place where there might be a spawn, make sure you crouch down first, because the wolves won't be able to see you. I don't see any wolves. The wind is really slowing us down. Or maybe we're overburdened. See where we're at weight-wise. No. Not really. I guess it's the wind. There's always going to be these simple tools or the better ones, the red box quality tools. I'm not going to pick that up because I know I can get quality tools either at the farmhouse or the barn or both. You come around the back here. And there's the rope down. Let's grab this while we're here. Here's Pleasant Valley. So after you climb down these two ropes is the draft dodger's cabin. It's right over this hill here, a little to the right. And we're exhausted. There's one thing I just like about the game, it's how much the breeze slows you down. Even the slightest breeze is like you're walking into a hurricane. Exhausted, but I'm not going to go to sleep before searching because if I wake up in the dark I won't be able to see anything. Candy ball. Okay, so completely exhausted. That. 300. 600. 750. One hour darkness left. We could sleep for 2 more hours, so let's do that. You see, I timed that we're out of water, and the next stop is a farmhouse. I calculated that pretty close, I would say. A blizzard. What else is new for Pleasant Valley? So when you're in a blizzard, let me go in here so you could actually hear me. A blizzard is really going to destroy your clothing. So if you have to go out in a blizzard, get naked. So from here, we're going to head straight away from the door, slightly right at the rocks, grab some cattails on the river, and we're going to follow the river to the farmhouse. I'm saying it in here just in case you can't hear me in the blizzard. Now, if you have your graphic settings on anything but low, you're not going to be able to see the cattails like this. There'll be other grass and reeds or whatever, so it might make it harder to see them. So when you hit the river, you make a right, and you make the first left by this snow-covered rock. This is a really short trip. I'm not worried about hypothermia or that I'm freezing. I'm more concerned about the damage to the clothing. Even if you're wearing clothes and it's really cold outside, as soon as you hit freezing, you might as well just take your clothes off to save wear and tear, because you don't get hypothermia any faster being naked than you do wearing your clothes. At least not right now. There should be a couple more cattails on the right up here. After you pass that bridge, then you're going to make a right on this hill right here, first possible after the rocks. After you grab these cattails. Then you go up this hill. Stay in, you're like parallel to the river. And here's the farmhouse. Before you head into the basement, check the back porch for a pry bar. There's a pry bar right here sometimes. Once you get inside, don't forget to put your clothes back on. So we did pretty good. We started out in Timberwolf Mountain. We got all this stuff. We got 10 saplings. We got a bunch of food, some herbal tea and coffee. Got the hacksaw, sewing kit. All this stuff is a benefit of starting out in Timberwolf Mountain. If you started in Pleasant Valley, then you wouldn't have all that stuff. Or if you started in Desolation Point, well, that, to me, that's the worst possible place to start. There's always going to be matches right there. Sometimes there's a magnifying glass in this drawer here. The whetstone can sometimes be found right there. Sometimes there's a hacksaw right here. Yes, I know all this stuff. There's a whetstone there. If it's not, it'll either be there, it'll be on the shelf, or it'll be over there. The quality tools are either on top over there, or right behind this box. There's a hacksaw there. We're gonna have two of those. And that's pretty much it, I think, for down here. So I think I'm going to cut the video there, guys. I hope that gave you some idea of the benefits of starting in Timberwolf Mountain on Interloper. If you liked the video, if you learned something, or leave a comment, hit the like button. Let me know if I should make a follow-up video. Alright, take care.